piercing his neck, and people dancing and celebrating to that. There's a sickness in this country with people.
That's exactly what it is. It is sick.
Yep.
And these people are sick.
Yes. And they need Jesus.
I think they call it Sky Blue.
Yes, Blue Sky. It's the social media website. A lot of people left Twitter after Elon Musk started working with President Trump, and it caters more to the left. And apparently people that I saw reporting that they were looking at it were just horrified by what they saw. But I wouldn't.
I haven't seen it, but I don't think I'm going to waste my time even looking.
No, me neither. I mean, why? What's the point? What does it serve? So.
There's no point looking at sickness.
Right. So, well, thank you, sir. It's nice to hear from you. Hope you're doing well.
Oh, I'm upright conscious and still here to complain.
Well, we always appreciate you. Call in more, okay?
All right. I always fulfill a threat. I'll be back.
Yes, sir. Just like the Terminator. We're back after this.
KSYL. Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson. A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air.
She told me Israel Air. She told me.
She said they'll come running with comfort beyond compare.
At a very fair price.
Because we're all about your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. We're all about your comfort,
It's Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back on Talkback. Al Quartermont. Stephen will be joining us shortly. Again, our phone number is 442-8255. That's 442-8255 on the BOM Bank talk line. And look who's here now.
I'm here.
Good morning.
Morning.
How's the daughter? You got her dropped off?
Yeah, she was ready to go to school. Little mad at me for not letting her eat her 5th bowl of cereal this morning, but
what?
She loves cereal lately.
Really?
Let me give her the healthiest version of cereal we possibly can.
Yeah.
But it's like her little treat.
Oh my. Well, she's adorable. So you're very, very blessed to have her for sure.
Absolutely. Yesterday I was in a 9/11 shoot in Mansoura, so traveled all the way to Simsport as well. So glad to be back.
All right.
I was listening and
yeah.
A tough time for sure.
It is. It really is. All right, let's get back to the calls. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for the talking like that with Stephen about the preciousness of his daughter and his family. And we see that. Listen, this is something the left does not have. The left, because their ideology is founded in Marxism, they are the enemy of the family. They are the enemy of the church. They make themselves, I don't want to say, they make themselves the enemy. And so their ideology is empty. And it's full of people, that movement is full of people that have an inner anger because they know that it's intrinsic in us. Stephen, when you go home and you see your wife and you haven't seen each other all day, there's instantly a bond. There's instantly a relief. You enjoy being in her presence. And when that sweet little girl looks up and holds her arms up to you, that is true joy. That's the deepest things that we can experience in this life. The left attacks all of that. The Democratic Party has been captured by people who hate that. And because they cannot, their ideology and their view of heaven on earth can never come close to equaling the depth of joy you feel when you see your wife and that little girl. And Al with his grandchild on Facebook, him sitting in that chair, the smile on his face, and that little one. You know, they don't have that. And so they lash out. They want to have it, but they can't have it the way they want to have it. The only way you have it is doing it God's way. That's it. Now, the ironic thing is most Democrats live that kind of life. Most of them that are fighting against traditional marriage are in a heterosexual marriage. Most of them that are fighting to keep abortion going would never dream of killing their own baby. But yet they fight for something that cannot ever fulfill us at the human level that we crave that fulfillment. So y'all keep talking to Stephen about his family. Y'all keep up. That is just a display that there's a right way to live life and there's an empty way to live life. And that's the only two roads. Everybody said, oh, you know, that's it. That's it. Anyway, thanks for letting me speak my piece. Y'all have a great weekend.
Thanks. Appreciate it. You know, it's interesting. I saw this last week. It was a poll that was done on Gen Z. And they asked people, what's important to you in terms of how to define success? And they found that among men who voted for Trump of the Gen Z generation, having children, 34%, was the largest category or percentage of how they define success, which is interesting. And for women who voted for Harris, 51% said having a fulfilling job or career was number one, and having children was 6%. I hear a lot of young men talk about how hard it is to date now and how hard it is to find a woman. Some people call them a trad wife, traditional wife. I guess maybe looking at who they're voting for might be an indicator there. So
I don't really know what to do with that. I mean,
yeah,
they're free to do whatever they want.
Oh, of course they are, but I think, you know.
And I just think it's patently false that everybody on the left doesn't want a happy life and a happy family. That's half of the American populace. I don't know why we're trying to demonize everyone who possibly votes Democrat at this moment. It's an awful, terrible situation. I'm disgusted. I liked listening to Charlie Kirk all the time. I don't agree with some of the things he says either, but it doesn't matter. This is what makes America great.
Sure.
And he was a very intelligent, very articulate human being, and I am still disturbed almost every other second by what I've seen on social media with some of the reaction, people celebrating this awful situation, seeing that video.
Yeah.
Like, it tears me. I can't stand stuff like that.
Right.
And
right.
It's important, I think, for us not to turn up the flames, to try and tamp this down a little bit. And we can talk more about that in the next coming moments. But I think right now, a great, intelligent person was shot down in his prime. And we need to remember him. He's a family guy. He left behind 2 children, and it's just an awful situation. And we don't, the one thing that just kind of bothers me out of this, and this doesn't, is how it was politicized 5 seconds after it happened. And we didn't know the details of this. And we still don't know what the motive is of the suspected shooter. We can assume, but then you kind of show your hand on what a lot of this is about on some of the politics, is you're trying to make it about defeating the other side. And we don't know the facts surrounding the case.
Yeah, not yet. Hopefully with this suspect in custody that they'll have more and we'll know more. We do know that yesterday they released information, at least the Wall Street Journal reported some of what was found on the bullets that were remaining in the gun that they found. But, even with that, it could be somebody who wants it to look like that. You know what I'm saying?
Who knows? Exactly. Yeah. Can we just let the facts play out?
Right.
And try not to make it a political football game now? Of course, we can analyze it and condemn after we know more information about it. But like I said, it's just you're kind of showing what the motive is if we're just jumping to conclusions.
Sure.
We shouldn't do that.
No.
And then we just need a moment of calm. And I know that you could say that, Charlie Kirk tried that, and he did. Like, he was very intelligent in his arguments. He sat down with people he disagreed with consistently.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean we need to turn up even more, because the majority of Americans do not agree with this, I can promise you.
Yeah.
This is not something we as Americans celebrate.
Right.
Normal human beings.
Right. And anytime you've got social media involved, you're going to have more people, or you're gonna see a disproportionate amount of the people that are celebrating, making it look like everyone's doing it, or so many people are doing it. I mean, clearly there are. I saw a really good video last night. It was a woman with, orange and blue hair, nose ring, and she said, well, if you click on this video, you're probably expecting me to say that I'm glad Charlie Kirk is dead. She said, actually, I'm liberal, but I'm more moderate. And then she just went off on how terrible it was that this was done, and she doesn't support it in any way. And so, and then I think we need people like that to speak out too and say, don't judge everyone by this.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're celebrating it, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
You're a vile human being.
Oh yeah.
I don't care if you
are
the leftist of the left.
Yeah.
You're a vile human being. That's awful. Yeah. If you're trying to stoke the flames before we even know the circumstances of this, and then demonize half of the American population, your fellow Americans, without knowing the facts of the case, or remembering not everybody's an extreme radical left or righter,
yeah,
then your dream just is dangerous.
No, I get your point. Yeah.
And so we've been seeing awful political discourse for a long time now. And it's not just a left, and it's not just a right. And that's proven fact.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, let's get back to some calls then. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
So did I hear you correctly this morning? You're surprised at the people online celebrating this? We shouldn't be. These are the same people that go online and brag about having abortions, killing babies in Europe. I'm shocked that there are more people on the left talking about this. I mean, collectivism, Marxism, socialism, communism, all collectivism is a death cult. Go back and read a good book called The Devil and Karl Marx, and it talks about what he wrote and what he thought and what he said during his lifetime. It's a death cult. And saying anybody that voted for Harris is on that side. I don't care if it's 90% of the American populace. These people are a death cult. Transgenderism is a death cult. If I told you, well, I got an idea. I'm going to have a bunch of young people sterilize themselves. And
hey, you're breaking up. We can't understand what you're saying.
Well.
Oops. Still there?
I am.
Okay, we can hear you now.
I mean, it is. Transgenderism is a death cult. If I said, I've got an idea, I'm going to convince people to sterilize themselves, and they'll never be able to have a baby, and their suicide rates will go up, and they will engage in mass murder ended by suicide. That is a death cult. There's no such thing as transgenderism. It's a cult. And in anybody, I don't care if it's 90% of the American populace, if they voted for Kamala Harris, they're just as guilty as the most deviant person who brags about this and celebrates this Charlie Kirk's murder. It's all the same. Democrats are evil. And I don't care if it's 95% of the population.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Well, appreciate the call and your thoughts. We'll take a break and come back.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Timber and oil and gas built Central Louisiana. Advances in carbon capture and storage have come along to make Cenla a business leader once again. Now, groups outside Louisiana spreading lies and misinformation have convinced some friends and neighbors to oppose this game-changing industry. The truth? Carbon capture is safe and will provide hundreds of jobs and millions of dollars for schools and roads. Log on for facts at AmericanEnergySecurityProject.org.
You too could have a beautiful smile in as little as 12 weeks. Exclusive to Today's Dental in Pineville, Virtual Align Clear Aligners. The fastest, most convenient, affordable way to straighten your teeth for people on the go. Plus, they're invisible. No one will know you're doing it. Experience the Virtual Align difference. Call Today's Dental at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. 448-4540.
Join us for the 7th Annual Gift of Life Banquet, an unforgettable evening of hope, inspiration, and purpose, hosted by Cenla Pregnancy Centers. Hear powerful stories of lives changed and be inspired by keynote speaker J.J. Jasper. Your attendance helps women and families for generations to come because every life is a precious gift. Reserve your seat today for September 18th at the Riverfront Center. Visit cenlapc.com or call 318-314-3061.
Great news, everybody. Karen is back at Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express, located right there at the intersection of North MacArthur Drive and Bayou Rapides Road. Hungry for breakfast? Karen will hook you up with biscuits, croissants, subs, and all the hot coffee you can handle. Just stop by any weekday morning from 6 a.m. till 9 and get your day started right. It's breakfast just the way you like it. Fresh, hot, and satisfying. Now I'm hungry. At Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express on MacArthur Drive at Bayou Rapides Road.
Coverage varies by plan, view contracts and exclusions at EnduranceWarranty.com. Auto repair bills are through the roof. $3,000 to replace the transmission. $4,000 for a blown engine. And if your manufacturer's warranty is expired, you'll have to cover it all out of pocket. You need an Endurance Auto Protection Plan. No matter what the mileage, if your car is under 20 years old, Endurance can get you covered on the engine, electrical system, transmission, AC, drivetrain, and more. Endurance has plans for any budget. Repairs can be done at the certified mechanic of your choice, and they're paid directly with no middleman. Plans cover 24/7 roadside assistance, towing, battery jumps, fuel deliveries, tire changes, lockout services, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Act now and get our elite benefits, including complete tire care and key fob replacement, a $2,000 value at no extra cost. With Endurance, you could never pay for covered auto repairs again, so call now for your free quote. Call 800-380-9012. 800-380-9012. Again, that's 800-380-9012.
Now back to Talk Back 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, we're back. Want to go back to the phones? We'll respond to some of what we've heard in just a bit. Good morning, you're on Talk Back.
Y'all remember that President Trump was shot at twice, so there's a pattern forming here.
Yeah. Well, Steve Scalise, you're right. It's people that are incapable of debating and dialoguing over differences. And I'm going to go back to something that Rush said. And I think that in some cases this is true. When Rush talked about how when conservatives tend to debate people on the more liberal side, they simply see them as having bad ideas. Whereas he said, for some reason, people that are on the extreme left see people who have conservative ideals as they're being evil itself. And there's a little bit of a point to that, I think.
The president's on record saying he believes Democrats are evil.
The president said that?
Yeah, at a Christian faith luncheon, because they stick together, but a lot of them are evil.
Hey, do y'all remember what Tim Walz said last week?
It was awful.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. Well, thank you for that. And something, a friend of mine is sharing who is a Christian, and she makes a great point. What happens when a Democrat decides to change or convert to a conservative mindset? Do we love them now and speak more kindly about them now? Lord help us. Last I checked, Jesus has told us to love our enemies. Now, that doesn't mean, how do you define love? And I think that's what Charlie Kirkhoff made the point about, is telling people the truth is loving them. Sometimes it's hard. It's hard for people to hear the truth. But if you love them enough, you will, even if that costs you personally. And he, I think, was willing to do that. So, look, temperatures are hot now. People are upset. But I think we got got to be careful about putting blanket terms on it. I think that's what you're saying.
Now, don't call half the country evil.
Yeah.
You're going down a dark path.
All right, we're coming
You've
up
been
now.
listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting. AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. President Trump says a suspect is now in custody in Wednesday's assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him.
The president revealed the news in person in an appearance on Fox and Friends.
Somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father.
The president says it was a person of faith who brought the suspect to a U.S. Marshal. Correspondent Weijia Jiang.
This pastor saw all the images that we were watching and then reported it to somebody. And the president said he found out about this about 5 minutes before he went on set here in New York City.
Last night, the FBI released enhanced images and video of the suspect jumping from a building at Utah Valley University. We expect more details in a news conference in half an hour. President Trump also announced on Fox he's sending the National Guard into a city in the South to fight crime.
We're going to Memphis. Memphis that's the next city. Deeply troubled. And the mayor is happy. He's a Democrat mayor. The mayor is happy. And the governor, Tennessee. The governor is happy.
Mayor Paul Young, the Democrat, the governor Bill Lee, a Republican. President Trump vows to clean up the city just like, quote, we did in Washington. He says he would have preferred to send troops into Chicago next, where local politicians have resisted his plans. Word just in from overseas. France says it's deploying fighter jets to Poland, and the UK has announced new sanctions against Russia after drones strayed across the Ukrainian border this week. Hyundai says last week's immigration raid at its Georgia battery plant will delay construction by 3 months.
475 construction workers, many of them undocumented South Koreans, were rounded up, leaving the project short of manpower. More than 300 of those workers were welcomed with applause when they arrived at an airport near Seoul, a day after the U.S. and South Korea reached a deal to release them from ICE custody. A poll found 60% of South Koreans believe the ICE enforcement action was excessive. South Korean officials say the crackdown could chill the nation's investments in the U.S. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
An update now on some hockey players facing serious charges.
The National Hockey League says the 5 players acquitted of sexual assault charges related to a 2018 incident will be able to sign contracts and play in the upcoming season. The move comes about 7 weeks after the 5 were found not guilty by a judge in London, Ontario.
CBS's Jim Krasula. Dow futures down 104. This is CBS News.
Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Jeff Palermo. At least 2 people have died from eating raw oysters contaminated with a flesh-eating bacteria this year. Louisiana health officials say about 24 people have been hospitalized after contracting Vibrio vulnificus. LSU Ag Center Seafood Extension Specialist Evelyn Watt says it's best to eat raw oysters in the fall when the water temperatures cool down, since Vibrio fulnificus can't survive in cooler waters.
Once the temperatures are cooling down, then there shouldn't be a problem on consuming oysters. But again, you need to make sure where those oysters are coming from and how they are handling.
The Southern Rail Commission is pleased with the ridership numbers for the new Amtrak Mardi Gras service that runs twice daily between New Orleans and Mobile, Alabama. John Spain says the reviews have been good, too.
It's a wonderful experience, and it's easier than the traffic, and it's predictable. You say you're going to leave New Orleans and get to Mobile or Gulfport or one of those places at a certain time. You get there on time.
LRN.
Louisiana forests once fueled our economy. Your granddad logged these woods. So did your dad. And now, Beaver Lake Renewable Energy is keeping that legacy alive, turning thinnings and wood byproducts into clean fuel right here in Pineville. It means more jobs, stronger forests, and a future that honors where Central Louisiana came from. Be part of Louisiana's next chapter. Visit BeaverLakeRenewable.com and find out how we're putting Central Louisiana back on the map.
You know, I was just sitting here looking at the extended forecast, and it is amazing. For the first time in a long time, no changes in our forecast through the end of next week. Good morning. Our forecast, sunny and hot today, 96. We'll do it for the afternoon high, 69, the overnight low tonight. And for Saturday and Sunday, again, no major changes. Mixture of sunshine and clouds, highs, 96. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 27 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
In the land of red and blue, where the towers all grew, lived people like me and people like you. We shouted, we argued, we pointed, we lied, till truth was forgotten and reason had died. The lines became blurred, the anger burned hot. We stopped seeing people and saw sides we were not. And then came a moment too dark to ignore. A life was erased, a family no more. A father lay dying, his children stood near. Half the country wept, the other half cheered. Somewhere along the way, we lost what was real. We stopped feeling horror. We stopped learning to heal. We don't see a neighbor, we don't see a friend. We see only rivals whose lives must now end. We kill for a party, we fight for a name, but none of these leaders will carry that blame. They don't know your children. They don't know your face. They'll use you, discard you, then vanish with no trace. We teach our own children to whisper, take care, mind what you speak and which thoughts you share. For even a word can now seal their fate in a land where belief breeds fury and hate. We scroll without thinking, we watch without care. A murder goes viral, and it's just another share. We film, we repost, we joke, we compete, while blood still pools at their families' feet. This isn't normal, it never should be. But we've traded our souls for a false sense of we. The lines are all gone, the compass erased. Right feels like wrong and wrong feels like grace. And someday we'll wake when it's far too late to find there's no victor, just ruin and hate. Unless we stop shouting, unless we refuse, unless we see people, not reds and not blues. Because yesterday a father was killed, and today our silence grows louder still. And if we don't change, if we don't break free, the us and the them is all we will be.
Welcome back on Talkback, everyone. Hour number 2, Alan Stephen with you. I'm not sure who that lady is, but wow, that was pretty profound.
It was good, but saying half the country cheered, like that's just the narrative we're creating. Like not half the country is not cheering. A lot of your main Democrat politicians.
I guess that wasn't my takeaway from what you were saying.
It was good. It's just like we're stoking this divide even more sometimes, saying half the country is cheering on the death of a loving father. That's just not true. But yes, it is It was good.
Okay.
We're just creating this divide that is, I think, completely unnecessary.
Yeah, and I've always had to wonder, who's doing that. But I mean, I know like yesterday, one of the tweets I saw was from the author Stephen King, and saying something about Charlie Kirk that wasn't even true regarding, his views on gay people. And Richard Grinnell, who's been a longtime conservative and is gay himself, just called him out on it. He said, "You're lying. You're just regurgitating what other people are saying about him and not even knowing." I knew Charlie well. So I don't know. It's a time where the temperature is obviously high. People are upset, but you always have to wonder, sometimes who's behind all of that. What are they really trying to gain out of it? Pitting people against each other, which at the end of the day, not much good comes out of that. But I see the generation that Charlie Kirk inspired trying to take a different approach. I feel like they're not responding with hate. I think they're trying to respond with a lot of grace and showing some amazing things, at least from videos I'm seeing from a lot of the people, which is good. So anyway, 442-8255 is our number here on Talkback. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
So much to say and so little time, so I'll try to make it short.
How's that little wife of yours?
Oh, bless her heart, she's so sweet. We've been married 51 years.
Wow.
I'll go ahead and get started on my rant.
Okay.
We've been married 51 years. I got one son, 51 years old. So that was a fast one. Then I have a daughter that will soon be 50. And I have 5 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren.
Wow.
No, I have 6 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren. Not one of them have ever heard me raise my voice to her, nor has she ever raised her voice to me.
Wow.
We have lived a life that people would die for. Not so much money, but a lot of love. Now, next time, talking about the situation. It seems to me like I remember reading in the Bible where it said something to the effect that when my people turn their back on me, I'll turn my back on them. And you may know that verse and where it's at. I don't know. But at any rate, I compare that to what's happening in America. When I was born in 1944, and every church you went to was usually filled up. Every church service. And most of those churches right now are closed, don't even have a preacher. I know one of them got 3 or 4 people that shows up for church on Sunday morning. That's it. So we can't expect too much but evil when we're in a situation like that.
Preach, brother. You are hitting the nail on the head.
That's right.
No, it is. And I pastor one of those churches. And I wonder, every morning that we're there and the doors are open on a Sunday morning, and all the people in our area, what are they doing? And I've called out dads before on this, and I hold squarely responsible men of our country who have not led their homes spiritually. If there's one example that Charlie Kirk gave that I hope people, especially young men, will follow, it is to be the spiritual head of their home, to lead their families, and especially leading them toward Christ. And I say that unapologetically. If you're a man who is not leading your family to Christ, you are failing in your mission as a father and a husband.
That's a fact.
I don't care if your kid is the greatest baseball player in the world. If you're going on travel ball instead of church, you are failing that kid ultimately. If he's good enough, they'll find him.
That's exactly right.
And entertainment, we'd rather stay home and watch football and then we wonder why our kids, we have abdicated our role as fathers. And what Charlie Kirk did was he helped young people better understand the Bible, something that many of them have not been exposed to, as well as the Constitution and civics. I mean, we send them to the publics. I'm not saying this so much even about Louisiana, because I think we have a lot of good schools here, and then we wonder why they have the values that they have. You have not instilled the values into them. And it starts with faith and family. And if we're not doing that, then we can only look at ourselves and see the spiritual condition of our country as a direct result of that.
That's right. My oldest granddaughter told me one time me and her was talking, and she was fixing to graduate from high school. And I asked her, I said, how much history did they teach you, baby? She said there was one paragraph in her history book about President Lincoln.
One paragraph.
Ain't that something?
Wow.
One paragraph.
Now, we had Cade Brumley on the other day, and I think that Louisiana is trying to make a return to that. So I applaud that.
We're doing better.
Yeah.
We're doing better.
Yep.
We're doing better.
I graduated high school in 2011. We talked ad nauseum about American history and Abe Lincoln, for sure. Maybe it's different places.
Yeah.
Yeah, she used that for an example. And I think it was horrible. But I believe President Trump's going to turn all the education over back to the states again and get the government out of it. And that's been the ruination of our education.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, ever since they created the Department of Education at the federal level, everything's gone downhill. Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And one more thing about my little fat wife. Bless her heart. She developed Alzheimer's a while back, and she's gradually getting worse. And I'm just pulling my hair out because I can't do nothing for her. It just drives me crazy because I always took care of her. And now I can't. It's killing me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I thought you were.
I
thought you were going with one of your jokes again.
No, I talk about my little fat wife all the time. I found a new use for her here this summer. It was so hot. I love to get out in the early morning and take my lawn chair and sit in the sun and let that warm sun shine on me. And when it gets too hot, I got to move. So she'll come out and stand behind me and put a big shade on me. and every time the sun moves enough, the sun's about to get on me again, she'll move over a little bit.
Well, there you go.
So I'm gonna really miss that someday.
Oh, man. Well, give her our best. And if she's put up with you for 51 years, I mean, come on.
Look, a few years ago, somebody asked her in a meeting we were in, how do you keep your family in line like that? And I tell them, I keep them laughing all the time.
There you go.
Every time I try to tell them something funny every day.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate
Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. All right, bye. Another call. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, my grandson, he's a senior at Louisiana Tech. Charlie Kirk didn't really hit him hard. He's a big fan of his, listen to his podcast and all that. Anyway, I have a question. Okay. I disagree with Stephen. Stephen gives the left too much credit. So, I just don't see how we coexist with these people. I mean, that other caller says they're Marxists. Marxism is a death cult. I just see these people. They're captured by the devil. I mean, they're satanic. I don't care what Stephen says.
And with that rhetoric, sir, we're surely screwed. We surely are.
If they support the policies of the Democratic Party, they are evil. And I don't want to go out and kill them. I have relatives.
So what do you expect? What do you suspect we do about that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Do you want to go to war with your fellow Americans? Do you want to destroy them?
Well,
what is the goal?
It may come to that.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're telling your true colors there.
I came from a big Catholic family. I have relatives. They went to Catholic school just like I did. Now they're diehard Democrats. They believe in all the abortion. They believe in transgender. I've purged them from my life. I mean, I'm not wishing them harm, but I've just purged them from my life. I just cannot stomach being around them, and I don't want to be around them. I just don't know what the answer is. And I'm afraid it's going to end up in a civil war. That's what I'm afraid of. How many are we going to let shoot before we stand up and go to war with them? I mean, come on. But you name one good thing about the Democrats, those leftist people. I can't come up with anything. They're the party of slavery. They're the party of abortion. They're the party of mutilating young, confused people. They had a guy called in a few times. I got so mad. I'm glad I wasn't around him. He was supporting all this immigration, and somebody brought up about like Laken Riley being murdered. He said, "Well, that's a one-off." He was just a one-off. Yeah, that just made me furious. He could dismiss her life so blatantly, just so blasé about it. Oh, she's a one-off. Well, what about that little girl Jocelyn that was raped and tortured for 2 hours, and they strangled her and threw her body in a bayou, and then that mother of 5 that was killed? I mean, there's been a bunch of them, but they still support immigration, illegal immigration. I just don't. I don't know. I don't see it ending up in a good place.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right. We need to take a break.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with The Clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The Clinics on North Dalton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Storms, tornadoes, power outages. It's the season, so get prepared. Get storm ready with Southern Air. Get a free estimate on a generator, the right generator for your home and family, plus 0% financing for 60 months with approved credit. Let Southern Air help you take the worry out of hurricane season. Take action now. Visit southernairnow.com and let us bear it. Or give us a call at 318-777-5555. Keep the lights on with Southern Air.
I recently mentioned that scams aimed at travelers were going through the roof. But listen to the story of a passenger who called United Airlines to rebook a family trip after mechanical difficulties canceled their flight. From America's #1 travel radio show, this is your RM World Travel Minute. I'm Rudy Maxa. So he dialed United and talked to someone named David who reserved new flights, upgraded him to premium economy, and said the original cost of the tickets would be refunded. The passenger did receive confirmation of a refund via an email that strangely didn't have a United email address. When he received his credit card bill, it showed both his ticket charge plus a shocking charge of $17,000 labeled airline fare. An investigation revealed the passengers had dialed the right number, but somehow his call left United's universe and was transferred to a con artist who charged him that bogus $17,000 more. Only discuss money with someone whose number you're sure of, though an investigation still hasn't revealed how this passenger wound up talking to a scamster after dialing United's correct number. Next week, I'll explain how fraudsters post false websites on search engines that look perfectly legit. More travel info at armworldtravel.com.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
Now back to Talk Bank, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Gen Z is going to be the most right-wing generation in 50 years. Statistically speaking, there was a huge turnout of youth voters for Donald Trump. That was unexpected, something that's usually a Democratic stronghold. There's probably no individual more responsible for that than Charlie Kirk. You really can't underestimate and downplay how influential he was in activating young people and how hand in hand he was working with the Trump campaign to turn out younger voters. And I would just say this, echoing what David said, which is you don't have to agree with the damn thing that he said, but he did it the way you're supposed to. He showed up and he debated people and he engaged them to their faces. He wasn't a keyboard warrior. He wasn't threatening people. That is how a civil society conducts itself. You go to places and you have debates on the issues of our day. And that's what he modeled. So any of his acolytes who are taking it a different direction, you're not honoring his legacy.
All right. And that's
a good statement.
Alyssa
100%.
Farrah Griffin, she was on the Aaron Burnett show yesterday and made that statement. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, even if you don't like Charlie or did not like Charlie Kirk, he went about it the right way. That's what makes America great. He would talk to your face and come up with an argument and let you make your case. You know?
So, not to make it a blanket thing, but I'll just ask you, do you see anybody on the quote left that's doing that right now?
David Pakman, Brian Tyler Cohen. You just don't pay attention to him. Cenk Uygur.
Okay.
Yeah. And they've all condemned it. And they've all said this is vicious and this is vile. Our Democratic leaders have called this vicious and vile. We need to quit letting the radicals on each side dictate our narrative. We're going to get into a very dark place in saying that one side or half of the American populace is evil and this could lead to some sort of other kind of violence or civil war is disgusting and vile as well. That is not the answer. We need to tone down the rhetoric and deal with the situation as it is. And win in the marketplace of ideas, like Charlie Kirk did.
Yeah. Truth will win out, marketplace of ideas. Usually. All right, let's go back to the phones. Good morning, you're on Talkback.
Morning, guys. How's it going?
Good morning.
Morning.
That was a great clip. I wasn't expecting that. And then also, yes, that's where you win. You win in the marketplace of ideas. And that's what made Charlie Kirk and people like him so dangerous to whatever is going on behind the scenes. And I woke up this morning, look at the news, listen and everything, and it's like, I used to be scared that, AI was eventually going to destroy the human race. And I think we're completely capable of doing that ourselves with no help at all.
Yeah.
So we do. Breaking news. We do have an ID on the suspect in the shooting. He is 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. You can see his pictures online. I'm trying to get some.
New York Post is reporting that. Yep.
They arrested him.
We'll see what comes out in the wash. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, they arrested him.
Listen.
Thanks so much.
They arrested him last night in St. George near Zion National Park, about 250 miles southwest of the campus where Kirk was shot. It appears someone very close to him, according to the president, turned him into law enforcement. We're hearing it's possibly his dad.
Father, yeah.
Okay, it looks like it was his dad. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, let's see here.
What'll be interesting, I don't know if you were back yet, but I had seen somebody on Twitter had posted a video of a guy debating Charlie. I didn't get a chance to watch it because I was on the air, but people are saying that this could be the very guy. It had taken place like a month ago or something like that.
22-year-old, my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Evil.
Yep. And I'm thankful if this is truly the person, because what I said the other day, I don't want this to become like a big conspiracy thing. Like, oh, there's some, who's really behind this? And
it was already.
Yeah. Is it this organization or that thing? Hopefully we'll find out. The shooting that took place the same day in Denver, suburb of Denver, at a school, they're saying that young man had been radicalized by an extremist group, but they didn't say what extremist group.
It's been completely swept under the rug when you have a big national story like this.
Yeah. And I know some people are trying to say, well, why is the Charlie Kirk thing big and then this one wasn't? It goes back to one of the news values, which is impact. The impact of Charlie Kirk's death.
It's pretty obvious.
That's
not making light of the other one.
No, it doesn't diminish at all the seriousness of that. Were the two people shot at that school? Did they live? I
think so.
Yeah. So
I mean, we saw a young man, well known, one of the biggest political activists in America, killed. We all saw it.
Right. Yep.
And sometimes that'll obviously dominate the news cycle.
Oh, no question.
Regardless of political leanings.
Exactly. Okay, we got calls lit up. You guys hang tight. We'll be right back.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. U.S. airlines are facing challenges filling economy class cabins, but if you want to fly in style, you'll have more options. Delta and American Airlines both say they're ramping up their premium offerings. Executives from both spoke at the same conference yesterday. Delta said it plans to provide a record number of more expensive seats next year. American will expand its upmarket offerings by a fifth by the end of the decade. A lot of people were headed to the theme parks last month. Six Flags says that after weather-related challenges in the second quarter, the company saw strong attendance in August, up 3% year over year, and the strength carried through Labor Day weekend. Six Flags also said it's seeing strong early sales of season passes for the 2026 season. Stock futures have been mixed this morning. Yesterday, the market pushed to new record highs right across the board, with gains on Wall Street ranging from around 0.75% to about 1.4%. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
One big, beautiful bill. A signature achievement for President Trump. The decisive vote to get it done in the U.S. Senate? Louisiana's Bill Cassidy. Cassidy stood with Trump to provide historic investments in border security. Together, they delivered critical tax relief for working families. And the Trump-Cassidy law will boost manufacturing and energy production right here in America. And when President Trump needed a partner in the U.S. Senate to pass tough new penalties on fentanyl traffickers, it was Bill Cassidy who stepped up and got it done. With Trump and Cassidy, you can count on one thing: a conservative agenda for Louisiana and America. Call Senator Cassidy at 225-929-7711. Thank him for standing with President Trump and for fighting and winning for Louisiana and America. Paid for by Louisiana Legacy Policy Solutions, Inc.
My name is Ariel. I moved to the U.S. at 19. I spoke no English and I struggled finding job opportunities. Everything I have, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and getting my high school diploma at age 22.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
You're great at protecting your own personal information. You probably even use things like two-factor authentication, strong passwords, VPN. But as much as you try to be in control of how your information is protected, there's lots of places that also have it. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every single second for identity threats. If your identity is stolen, a LifeLock specialist is going to help solve the identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% off your first year with a promo code Beck at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
You know, I was just sitting here looking at the extended forecast, and it is amazing. For the first time in a long time, no changes in our forecast through the end of next week. Good morning. Our forecast, sunny and hot today, 96 will do it for the afternoon high, 69 the overnight low tonight. And for Saturday and Sunday, again, no major changes. Mixture of sunshine and clouds, highs, 96. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
970 AM. AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to TalkBack.
So I do want to kind of just ask your thoughts on this because, you know, we're talking about not putting people all in one camp or one category. However, no matter how conservative of a college you might go to, I haven't really seen where a more liberal left of center speaker has come to campus and it created widespread consternation, protesting, need for police forces and such, like whether it be a Tommy Lahren or a Riley Gaines or a Charlie Kirk or a Ben Shapiro, or, you know, why is it? Why do we have that? Like, what's the mindset of some of these young people that they just can't even listen, or be willing to listen to another viewpoint?
I think in today's world, it would be smart to have security no matter what side you're on.
Sure.
I can't give you specifics on if someone else on the left went to a school and spoke, you know, would they need security? I just don't know that. But I will say this, the right has been significantly more efficient, skilled at the internet ecospace, 100%. So there's bigger names on that side, 1,000%. And I think that's something that the left realized after this election is they're falling far behind when it comes to that. Well, now, for your question, are you saying why are college students so vitriolic that the right-wingers need more security?
Yeah.
Is that the question you're asking?
Yeah.
I don't know what the premises are of that. Like this, if you're a famous person these days and you're politically motivated, I would highly suggest you have security. And Charlie Kirk probably needed more.
And I would also say that we may not ever see again a politically oriented appearance outside. It's just too hard to control.
100%. Yeah.
I mean, you know, we almost lost President Trump because of it.
Yep.
Now we lost Charlie Kirk because of it. So I think these things will be indoors from now on and very, very controlled in terms of security.
Yeah, I think that's a smart thing. It's a realistic thing to do.
Yep. All right, back to the phones we go. Good morning. You're on TalkBack.
Good morning. I was getting back to this, the ideas and who has the better ideas. The Democrat Party is out of ideas. They bankrupt. Or the policies they want to run on, they can't run on because they're too far left. Where, you know, what's his name in New York City? He backed away from the policies that he really believes in because they can't run on it. They've been bankrupt and they've run on hate. They've been running on hate for several election cycles. And the people that Stephen mentioned, they might be good promoters. They're not leading the Democrat Party. The top of the Democrat Party is selling hate. That's the way they turn out their voters. That's the way they've been doing it for the last couple of election cycles. And you can say it's one-sided. You can say it's not, or it's two-sided. But let me tell you, it's heavily weighted to the left side.
I will have to agree with you that the Democratic establishment is out of ideas at this point. Yeah.
Kamala Harris couldn't even voice any ideas that she might have different than Joe Biden. And what did Joe Biden run on? They ran Joe Biden because he was considered maybe a moderate, but maybe they could get him elected. Maybe he could beat her. You remember when they were all up on that stage, and he's the one that got selected, and Kamala was the one they turned out the first time. I mean, she never even made it to a primary.
Right.
Because those ideas are bad ideas. And that's the ideas they have, and they can't sell them because they don't sell in this country. So they sell hating the other side or fearing the other side. That's the way they sell their elections. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I think a bigger problem with that too is what's his name? His name escapes me. Clinton's guy from Louisiana, Carville.
James Carville. Yeah.
It's the economy, stupid.
Yeah.
The Republicans in the last election were better at saying, hey, we're going to put more money in your pocket. We're going to make life more affordable. We're for the working class, which is something the Democrats used to be very good at sending that message.
For sure.
And they've gone into complete identity politics. I think people are just very tired of it. I think a lot of people on the left and a lot of these people I was talking about on the left are sick of it too.
Yeah.
Because they feel like they have, whether you agree or not, they have good economic ideas. And they want to get away from this identity-type politics. And it's not going to serve them well in the future.
I have seen a lot of videos the last couple of days of people that have been Democrats or, quote, on the left who's saying that they're not going to go in that direction anymore. I think that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
We may be seeing a shift. I mean, what that lady said, I mean, we may see a real swing to the right, but I think ultimately you're right. If the Republicans can't deliver for people to have more affordable houses, less expensive food, but a lot of this is way beyond one administration. It's years and years of reckless spending in a trillions of dollars in debt. And all the things.
This is also a pandemic that completely stalled the economy.
Yeah.
For years.
Right.
And Trump knew good and well you can't flip the script a month in, but they would talk like they would.
Yeah, of course.
You know, prices are going to get better. We're going to end all these wars. And it's just not realistic. And like I've talked about before, we should not expect the president to have that much sway on making immediate changes or for him to save the day.
Yeah.
That's not the American way, at least the America that I would hope for.
I think he's done a lot so far, though. I think there has been a positive change in a lot of things, and we'll see what happens.
We can get into that another time.
3.5 years. Okay. Well, good morning. You're on Talkback.
Yeah, to be a little bit more positive today, one of the things that I seem to note about the current host on your show is it's a fairly good juxtaposition of what I consider basically conservative and what's the term? Libertarian. I almost said that Stephen's libertarian.
I mean, I could tell you, but I might get in trouble, so what I am.
Okay.
Why would you get in trouble? With the audience? Or?
No, it's just like I try and be a journalist, and I kind of fight back against you sometimes because I'm trying to make it to where we're not just giving one side all the time, even though I do agree with some of the things I say. But I would consider myself a heavy libertarian. Sometimes I lean left on some things, sometimes I lean right on things. I know that makes me sound milquetoast, but I just think that's the way more Americans are than the other, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Well, it reminds me basically of the juxtaposition of Bob and your engineer.
Oh, Dave?
Yeah, Bob and Dave, when they were both on together. It just was a nice juxtaposition of ideas.
Yeah.
And they were polite to each other.
Yeah.
And you guys are all polite. But here's something else that's interesting. My wife and I were trying to find a place to eat in Alexandria that was different from others. And we were in Lafayette, and the dermatologist and his nurse referred us to Trios, which is on Versailles. Okay, so anyway, we went, and we got there very early, and the host, or maybe the owner-manager, named Matthew, came over, and we visited a while, and he said something about an area in southeastern Louisiana, Slidell. And I said, what is your last name? And he said, Loyacano. Well, it just so happens that his father was Alvin Loyacano, who was with the cooperative, with the research section at LSUA. And it turns out that we were in the same biochemistry class at LSU, and Alvin was always trying to get my notes, which I shared with him, because I also knew his older brother, Harold, and it wasn't that Alvin didn't come to class, it just seemed like it was helpful that he had more notes to study. So the prices were reasonable, the service was excellent, the food was fine.
Yeah. Trios is one of my favorites in town. It's a great place. Courtney and Matt are the best, and they make you feel at home when you go there, and it's a fantastic place. Great food. Get the chicken panini. It's fantastic.
Well, I just thought I'd end the week with some positive stuff.
Well, thank you for that. We need that.
Calling in like 10 minutes to make it end at the right time. So.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that so much. We'll come back with more calls right after.
KSYL.
All of us have that one friend who can just light up the room with a smile. And
sadly, how many of us are just a little bit envious of that friend? Well, here's the good news. The folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver that beautiful beaming smile. Over the years, hundreds of hopeful patients have visited and been completely satisfied. They've made getting dental implants an amazingly simple, low-anxiety procedure, one that's affordable for anyone's budget. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you feel comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled, certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Isn't it your turn to light up that room? Give Today's Dental a call at 448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Gauthier. That's 448-4540.
Hey, y'all, hit the road and find a festival near you this weekend. September 12th through September 13th, Mamu Cajun Music Festival. September 13th, Esterwood Park Fest, Rain's Old Spanish Trail Day, Cajun Food Fest in Lydia, and Highland Jazz and Blues Festival in Shreveport. September 13th through September 14th, Oldies But Goodies Fest and Barbecue Cook-Off in Port Allen. Visit festivals.explorelouisiana.com and make your plans to Laissez Les Bon Temps Roulette.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
All right, welcome back, everyone, on Talkback. Alan Stephen with you here on this Friday morning. It's been a very quick show. We've had a ton of calls, and we appreciate all of them, whether we agree or not. This is the forum. This is what we do.
We kumbaya at the end.
Yes. Good morning. You're on Talkback. Hello, good morning. I heard a phone rattle. Are you there, sir? Or ma'am?
Try again another time. We always kumbaya.
We
and
do.
That's the goal, I think, I hope, from all the callers, too.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, but...
Yeah.
I don't agree with everyone who calls in, but I think y'all are all great, intelligent, informed, smart people.
Yeah,
and we're all not that different, I can promise you.
I think what the main thrust of what you've been saying this morning, and I think it's valid, is being careful to lump everyone into one category. When we say all Democrats are evil, for example,
that's pretty awful.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of Democrats that you're going out to lunch with, to civic organizations that are doing things for the betterment of this community.
You know how many you work with, who are your neighbors. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. And they don't all agree with everything that the top of the party is saying.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I mean, just like there are a lot of people that are Republicans that aren't 100% on board with Trump either.
I mean, a lot of you, I don't think, would say the things that Trump says sometimes.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't think, Al, you would talk like Trump talks sometimes.
Right. No,
But
I
you
would.
still voted for him. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think I'd see you at 50-something years old say, grab him by the you-know-what, and then joke about it.
Yeah, and I'm not even 50-something years old anymore.
Yeah, you've matured from that age.
Now, before Christ, 20-something-year-old me, you probably would have been shocked. College me, you would have been shocked and disappointed.
I would expect that from a college kid.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I'm glad we didn't have social media back then. Let me just say that. My goodness.
We should not judge the words unless it's violent and insightful. It's or inciting violence.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't take what college kids very seriously. And they're very smart. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Charlie was one of those rare people that, he dropped out of college. He wanted to go, I think, to West Point, but he felt this call in his life to start this organization at 18. 18.
You can self-educate. It's called pick up a freaking book, people, like he did.
There was a debate he had. I saw it was with a guy who they were arguing over whether going to college is worth it, essentially. And the guy's like, I'm a fourth-year English student.
Oh, I saw that one.
And he asked him what his favorite Jane Austen book is. He goes, who's Jane Austen?
No, he said Harry Potter. That's what he said.
Later, but earlier was Jane Austen.
No, he asked him his favorite Charles Dickens.
Said, yeah.
And then he couldn't answer.
He just mumbled something, and he said, how about Jane Austen? And he's like,
yeah.
Yeah. And people aren't like, you've gone to college for English for 4 years?
No, I know. You know who can't say Pride and Prejudice?
Yeah.
Or Great Expectations?
Yep.
I had to read Great Expectations. It was okay. It was a bit of a slog. He is a hard read sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a good, like I said, if you don't agree with him politically, fine. But he was self-educated, very smart individual.
I always tell my students that, college is just a beginning point for education. Education is a lifelong process, and reading and learning, and which you have embodied very well, I would say.
Not in college.
No, you.
I will be the first to admit that my, and this isn't going to get me into the Alumni Hall of Fame at LCU, but I was probably majoring in beer pong.
What? I never saw that.
Well, of course, but you
hit it well.
You didn't know that. Okay. You didn't.
Could not have suspected that ever.
No. But I was never at LCU.
Right.
I should have just paid LSU some money for as much as I was going over there.
Really? All right, more calls. Good morning. It's confession time with Stephen Maxwell. Good morning. You're on Talkback.
Hi, yes, sir. I just wanted to call. Can you hear me okay? There's no echo?
No, you're good. Yeah, you're good now.
Yes, sir. I wanted to call in about the comments and questions about what do we do with the left side or radicals or these people that are doing these atrocious things.
Mm-hmm.
I think the answer is out there. Evil is acting on all of us, whether you're left, right, Democrat, Republican. Evil exists. Some it's acting on more than others.
Mm-hmm.
To me, if you look at it in a biblical perspective, some are more prodigal than others. They're lost.
Yeah.
And God wants to find them. I think God finds them through us. And the answer is spelled out for us by Christ.
Mm-hmm.
We love our neighbor as we love ourselves.
Yes. Absolutely. And somebody posted today, and I agree, that what Charlie Kirk would have wanted would be for us to pray even for the guy that shot him, that he would come to know.
That's exactly what Charlie Kirk did.
Yeah.
He loved him.
Yeah.
And that's what we have to do. The best example I know of, other than Christ on the cross asking the Father to forgive them for they know not what they do, would be Pope John Paul II, his attempted assassin who tried to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Later, he went and visited the man in prison to talk with him and forgive him.
Wow.
And it's a story, I don't know the story in detail, but if I understand correctly, the man later converted. So God found him through that.
Wow.
And that's the examples we need to live by. I think that's the answer for what do we do with these people. We love them.
Yeah.
Now, there have to be solutions, and there have to be mechanisms and methods by which we deal with the problems we have as a culture and society. But fundamentally, we listen to God's word and we love him.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that.
That's hard to grasp and say, even the supposed person or people that did this.
Yeah. Yep.
That's God's answer for it.
Yes, sir. No, thank you for the reminder on that. We really appreciate it.
And I appreciate that, and I think that's fantastic. But this is why we don't lump a whole group of people into one thing. I know plenty of secular people who are family people, loving people.
Sure.
Plenty of countries that are secular don't do these kind of acts in their country. We should all find common ground and not lump. And I appreciate what you said. Yeah.
We are all one people.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate the call this morning. All right, let's take another. Good morning.
Maybe that side should, instead of trying to say we're going to go to war with one side, try and set a better example with your beliefs.
All right, good morning. You're on Talkback.
Well, this is the first double dip I've done in about 20 years.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you're okay.
What about William Faulkner's English? He's a rather interesting author, especially when it comes to paragraphs that are a page long and perhaps one sentence and continuing.
Yeah.
But he had a brother, and I can't remember his name. Maybe it was John Faulkner, but he wrote something called Dollar Cotton about a family that. Anyway, it was a fairly complicated book, but it wasn't really written quite like his brother would write. And it dealt with cotton rising to $1 a pound during the First World War.
Wow.
And the trials and tribulations that took place within that family. So if you're really curious, Google Dollar Cotton and see if you can get a copy. It's not like reading Faulkner. So It is a Faulkner, but it's not him.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate that.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to take our last break.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics with 27 providers and 3 locations. Someone can see you today. Stick around. More of Talkback is on the way.
Timber and oil and gas built Central Louisiana. Advances in carbon capture and storage have come along to make Cenla a business leader once again. Now, groups outside Louisiana spreading lies and misinformation have convinced some friends and neighbors to oppose this game-changing industry. The truth? Carbon capture is safe and will provide hundreds of jobs and millions of dollars for schools and roads. Log on for facts at AmericanEnergySecurityProject.org.
Is your website accessible to everyone? If it's not WCAG compliant, you could be excluding customers and opening yourself up to lawsuits. At Kinetics, we build and optimize websites that meet WCAG accessibility standards, helping you serve more people, convert more customers, and stay compliant with ADA guidelines. Don't risk it. Get your free website accessibility assessment today at kinetics.solutions. That's kinetics.solutions. Kinetics, where smart marketing works.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. To take part in the show, call 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. Talk back.
All right, last segment of the week, of the day. Thank you for all the calls today, whether we agree with you or not, 100%. We just appreciate your willingness to call and engage in dialogue and discussion with us about this and other sundry topics. And the news of the day today is going to definitely be focused on the killer that they apparently have found and have arrested. As President Trump announced that this gentleman apparently was turned in by his own father, or he convinced him to turn himself in. According to the Daily Mail, his father is a 27-year veteran of the Washington County, Utah Sheriff's Department. He contacted authorities and secured his son before he could be taken into custody. You know, I'm looking at this kid. They've got pictures of him. I'm seeing some videos of him, and you know, like looks like a freshman year dorm picture, and he just looks like a sweet young college kid. Like, what radicalizes somebody to take it to that point where they would do something like he did? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out.
His father, known for his... I'm just trying to read this from the Daily Mail.
Yeah.
His fierce MAGA views.
His father had fierce...
Oh, okay, no, they were talking about Charlie Kirk. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to read through it right now. If you want to read more about the alleged shooter, go to the Daily Mail. They're got a lot of information.
Yeah, and unfortunately now his family is going to be harassed by, you know, people that'll get online and just...
You never know the circumstances surrounding it.
Right, right.
What life was like at home. I'm not going to speculate.
No, you can't. You can't.
So.
But, man...
Yeah, I'm sure we'll hear more, and you know, all we know right now is his name, his age, where he's from, and that his dad reportedly turned in his son, who was the alleged shooter.
My goodness. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through, trying to read and see what else they're saying about him. But wow, and likely he's going to face the death penalty in the state of Utah. I mean, the governor already had said that. So, wow. Heavy stuff, man. It's been a tough week. I mean, we started the week, we were talking about the young lady that was killed on the train in Charlotte. And Charlie Kirk actually spoke out quite a bit about that. And if you remember, Van Jones was like, there's nothing to indicate this was racist, except for the video where he's saying, I killed that white girl. But, you know, Charlie invited him to come on his show, his podcast, and talk about it.
I'm sure Van would have done it.
I know. It would have been a great discussion. It's unfortunate that will never happen. But continue to pray for Erica Kirk and what she's going through. I saw a picture of her posted today where she's waving out of the back of like a vehicle. Somebody's driving her, and just you can see the distraught on her face, which somebody shared this, how he met and courted his wife. Apparently he was she was running a business in New York called Proclaim Streetwear, where if you bought a sweatshirt from them, they'd give one to a homeless person on the street, and how much she loved Jesus and started the business to honor him. And so he met her apparently in the airport, and they kept in touch, and then he wanted to interview her to possibly come work for Turning Point USA. And so they went to a restaurant, talked for like 3 hours, politics, strategy, and everything else. And the restaurant was closing, and they had to leave. And Charlie said, "You're great, but I can't hire you." She's like, "Okay, well, I still have my business." He said, "I can't hire you because I want to date you."
Oh, wow.
And they left the restaurant and ended up dating. And she called her mom and said, "I didn't get the job, but I guess I got a boyfriend."
Wow. Yeah, very, very sad. Poor kids, poor wife.
Yeah.
I'm sick.
Yeah, me too. All right. Everyone have a great weekend. We'll talk with you again on Monday. Thanks so much.
You've been listening to Talk